You want the truth? Here it is. Most people will never reach their goals. Not because they aren't capable, but because they weren't willing to bleed for it. They weren't willing to sacrifice comfort, distraction, and excuses on the altar of progress. But here's the twist. There's also a dark place you can end up when you sacrifice too much. And I'm going to take you there today. Because this isn't just another motivational video about grinding until you puke. This is about balance through discipline. About finding that edge and not letting it break you. Let me take you back to about 2008. I was chasing the 50-mile national championship. That's right, 50-mile trail ultra running national championship. It wasn't just a dream. It was an obsession. And I had every advantage. I was living in Reno, training at elevation in the backyard of the actual race course in Tahoe. I was logging 120-mile weeks every damn week. Alone, focused, laser locked. No excuses, no distractions, no plan B. I sacrificed parties, sleep, my social life, my sanity, even my appetite at times. Everything went into training. I was doing hill repeats on the same trails the elites would race on months later. I was breaking down my gear like a Formula One pit crew. Every run had a purpose, every step was a building block, and I was chasing greatness, and I felt like I was getting close. But here's what no one tells you when you go all in. There's a point when sacrifice stops being fuel and starts becoming fire. And if you don't know when to pull back, that fire stops from burning you and starts burning you alive. Race week came, I should have been peaking. Instead, flat. Mentally, physically. Even though I ended up running top 10 for the first 25 miles, by the time I hit mile 35, I was dragging hard and I couldn't maintain. I couldn't keep up and I ended up failing the race. I had emptied every tank I had trying to be perfect, but the truth was I didn't respect recovery. I didn't respect the power of the mind. I didn't realize that obsession without boundaries isn't discipline, it's destruction. I had got to the starting line overworked, under-recovered, and mentally dull. I traded every bounce of balance for more mileage, more sacrifice, more pressure, and I paid the price. I lost the edge that mattered most, the fire between the ears. Not because I didn't train hard enough, but because I sacrificed too much for too long and left nothing in the tank for the one day that actually mattered. So yeah, sacrifice is non-negotiable. You don't get to coast your way to greatness. You don't get to go to Netflix and Uber Eats your way into elite shape. If you don't sacrifice for your goal becomes a sacrifice. But here's the nuance most people miss in all the Instagram posts. Discipline without direction becomes destruction. Hard work without recovery becomes burnout. Sacrifice without margin becomes madness. Let's unpack this. Why do most people fail at long-term goals? It's never usually a lack of intensity. Most people just go too hard too soon. So it's not a lack of information. We've got more content, plans, and how-tos than we know what to do with. It's a lack of consistent, sustainable discipline and a complete misunderstanding of the real cost of chasing something meaningful. So here's the real formula for success. Frequency times duration times sustainability. So not just effort, not just motivation, not just how many hours you can put in, but how long can you stay in the fight without breaking. Consistency is the king, and so is resilience. You cannot be resilient if you're wrecked. So let's get real and listen to this for a moment. It's not about how hard you can go today. It's about how many days you can go hard. So let's get this tactical. If you've got a goal, whether it's an ultramarathon, rebuild your body, or change your damn life, here's the 3-part framework I wish I had back in 2008. Number 1, define the cost and the cap. Write down what you're willing to give up, not just in time, but in sleep, relationships, mental bandwidth, everything. Then draw a damn line. Know what you won't sacrifice, your health, your joy, your identity. Because if your goal demands everything, it's no longer a goal. It's a trap. You've got to know the difference between sacrifice and self-destruction. Number 2, build systems, not sprints. Motivation is great until it vanishes. Sprints are sexy, but marathons build champions. The athletes I coach now, we build systems. Forge Grit is a system, not a plan, not a program. Set clear wake-up times, set clear training times, training rituals, recovery protocols, nutrition automations, non-negotiable reset days. Because consistency is about being a robot. It's about having a structure that protects your mission even when life tries to knock you off course. And the third one, track more than just metrics, more than mileage, more than calories, more than macros. Track mental load. Everyone loves to track all these data analytics. Our phones do it, our watches do it, everything does it for us nowadays. But here's what most people miss that is not tracked on any number of apps. Mental fatigue is the silent killer. So start journaling how fried you feel. Rate it on a 1 to 10 daily. If you're having an 8 for 5 straight days, you don't need more caffeine, no more Red Bull, no more Monster. You need more margin. Mental fatigue will cost you more than sore legs ever will. It kills passion, confidence, clarity. It'll show up on game day if you ignore it. You're not weak if you rest. You're not soft if you reset. You're not lazy if you build recovery into your strategy. What you are is smarter. Discipline without awareness is just punishment. So what do you do now? You do the work, but you also learn when to stop digging. You sacrifice, but you stay sharp. You push the edge, but you don't fall off the cliff. And most importantly, you remember that you are not your goal. Your worth is not tied to the outcome, and your life is bigger than one race. The bottom line is this. If you do not sacrifice for your goal, it becomes a sacrifice. But if you sacrifice everything, you won't be standing when the smoke clears. So build your fire with purpose, fuel it with consistency, feed it with rest, and when the game day comes, you won't just show up, you'll show up ready. Now go do the work. And don't just chase the goal. Protect the version of you that gets to enjoy achieving it. We are grit and determined.